At the Shifters Nightclub, Talia followed Maya through the dark hallway, and the thumping of the bass got stronger with every step they took. The moment a bulky guy opened the door for them, the electro house music assaulted Talia's ears and she winced. It took her a moment to compose herself and observe the massive area while trailing only a few inches behind Maya, fearing that if they separated, she wouldn't be able to find her in the crowd that was moving with the music. Talia frowned at the intensity of the various scents that entered her system. Perfumes, sweat, alcohol. Even for someone without werewolf-enhanced senses, it was overwhelming. The space was dark, and colorful lights glided over the heads of people who filled the place. Talia couldn't see how big the nightclub was, but she estimated at least several hundred people were present. It was very lively. Everyone was doing their thing, but somehow people parted to make way for them. Talia was not aware that Maya was using her beta aura to notify others of their presence. Werewolves had strong instincts to not block the way of someone who was more powerful. Talia focused mightily not to stumble because this was her first time wearing shoes with a heel, and the fact that her legs were sore after the exercise Keith put her through didn't help. Talia didn't feel any discomfort before because she was moving, but during the makeover, she was sitting while Maya did her hair and makeup, and Talia could feel her muscles throbbing more by the minute, and she hoped that it would stop. But so far, it was only getting worse. By the time they were ready to go, Talia's legs were in a bad shape, yet Talia didn't dare to say anything to Maya, fearing that it would spoil the mood. Only when they stopped at the bar and two people conveniently stood up from the bar stools so that Talia and Maya could sit, Talia took mental notes of what others were wearing. Talia observed several scarcely dressed females and realized that her lack of skin coverage didn't stand out. But even though her tight-fitting black leather pants and the silvery tank top that ended above her navel covered all the important parts, Talia never felt so exposed before. When thinking about the image of herself in the mirror before they left, Talia couldn't recognize herself. Her hair was ironed flat neatly, and it looked a few inches longer than usual. Maya applied light makeup to accentuate Talia's honeyed eyes and full lips, without making them stand out too much. After some blush on the cheeks and concealer on Talia's arm to hide the bruise that Casey left behind, Talia was not sure who the girl was that looked back at her from the mirror. The styling and clothes gave her confidence, and Talia straightened her back. If she didn't know that was her, Talia would imagine a sophisticated young woman who was ready for a night out. But now that the mirror was not there, Talia's insecurities bubbled to the surface and she wished to become invisible. Maya noticed that Talia hugged herself to cover up the bare skin of her midsection. "Don't worry, Talia. You look great. Try to relax and enjoy." Talia responded with a stiff smile and her eyes gravitated to the moving platform that was suspended above the crowd. It was the DJ station where one guy was standing in front of an array of machines that allowed him to mix the music and set up the mood for the whole club. There were two women dancing behind him. The current song faded into the next one, and DJ raised his arms in the air. As if on cue, most of the crowd raised their arms, and they exploded into cheers as various lights spilled over them. Talia was fascinated. The party mood was contagious, and Talia felt her insides flutter. If not for her shyness, she would also wave her arms in the air. "What will you have, ladies?" A voice from her back got Talia's attention, and she saw a young woman, aka the bartender, looking at her and Maya questionably. The woman nodded at Maya in acknowledgement. "Beta, it's always nice to see you." "It's always good to be here, Katya," Maya responded with a smile. "This is Talia." Katya gave Talia a friendly smile while waiting to hear their orders. Katya's hair was raised in a messy bun at the top of her head, and several curly strands framed her perfect face and reached her shoulders. Talia thought that Katya looked like an exotic beauty with her sun-kissed skin, mesmerizing eyes, and full lips. She was leaning over the counter of the bar so that they could hear each other with the blaring music going on, and wore a name tag that said Katya. Maya leaned over the bar and whispered something, and Katya nodded before moving away and grabbed a few bottles from below the bar. The bar was long and packed with patrons, and Talia observed waitresses filling their trays with colorful glasses of various shapes and sizes before going to serve people seated in booths that were around the massive dance area. "What do you think about this place?" Maya asked Talia, who was taking in her surroundings with her eyes open wide. Talia was not sure how to respond, other than, "It's a lot to process." Talia spotted several couples. "Is it okay for you to be here without Caden?" Maya waved, indicating that it wasn't a problem. "He had some things to take care of and will join us when he is done." Maya didn't want to say that Caden's task is to make sure Alpha Damon shows up tonight. That was part of her plan. How would Damon react to seeing Talia after her makeover, or in this place without him? Maya didn't want to upset him. She wanted Damon to know that Talia's life was not on pause when he was not around. That should give him a slap of reality that if he doesn't act properly, he will lose Talia, because she won't be confined to that one room for meals or for anything else when he is busy. Maya was surprised to see how easily Talia interacted with Keith and other people at the gym. It was like they were attracted to her for more than just flirting. They wanted to please Talia and make her comfortable. And Maya thought how that was the real trait of a Luna, making people obey her without using force. Maya was confident that as long as Talia was in a supportive environment, her true personality would come through. And hopefully, Talia would get over the traumas she accumulated during her stay at the Red Moon Pack. Katya placed 2 pinkish cocktails on the bar and winked. "This is on the house." After Maya's encouraging eyebrow wiggles, Talia took the cocktail and gave it a sniff. It smelled fruity. A sip confirmed the fruitiness in the flavor also. It was sweet and yummy, and Talia took a big gulp and licked her lips. "Can I assume based on your smile that you like it?" Maya asked, and Talia nodded in confirmation. It was delicious. "Good," Maya exclaimed and waved toward where Katya was standing. "Give us one more round." Talia noticed that other than Katya, there were 2 more guys behind the long bar that was crowded with patrons. Not many were sitting, as most of the people were waiting for their drinks, and then disappearing into the crowd with their hands full. Really, this whole nightclub was packed, and Maya told her that it was still early. Talia was not sure how many more people could be crammed in this place. Talia remembered that Dawn and Xena told her how this is the hottest nightclub in the area, and now Talia understood what they meant. She never saw so many people in one place. Talia wondered if Dawn and Xena were here. What even were the chances that Talia would see them? "Well, well, look who is here." A deep male voice sounded from behind the bar. It was the 4th person Talia didn't notice before because he was in the room behind the bar so far. Talia smiled when she recognized Keith. She wondered what he was doing there, but before she could ask, Keith leaned closer, took a sniff of Talia's drink, and scrunched his nose in obvious disapproval of her beverage. "Let me make you something better." Keith wanted to take Talia's cocktail away, but she held it firmly. "I like it. Can I finish this? I can have more than one drink." Just as Talia said this, Katya brought in 2 more cocktails and placed them in front of Talia and Maya. Katya cocked an eyebrow at Keith. "Are you stealing my customers?" He grinned at Katya. "If your drinks are so good, you wouldn't need to worry about me stealing them." Katya rolled her eyes and shook her head. She wanted to bicker with Keith, but several people were waving to get her attention, so she went to serve them. This was her job, after all.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.